Hi, I'm Niall Dennehy, founder and CEO of NestiFi. Before I tell you what we're building, I want to tell you about 1987. Back then, my mother Nora brought me into our local credit union in Cork and opened an account in my name. I was a child. I didn't understand compound interest or inflation or what a share was, but she knew. She knew that the single most important thing that she could do for me was to start early. That one account, opened by my mother before I could spell the word savings, is the reason I'm standing in front of you today talking about financial futures. And almost 40 years on, I asked myself a simple question. If my mother were doing it today, in 2026, what would it look like? Where's the modern version of that credit union counter? Where's the tool that lets a whole family, not just a parent, build a financial future for a child? And the honest answer is it doesn't exist. Not in Ireland, not anywhere. So we're building it, and it's called NestiFi. Here's the context. Across Europe, 3.5 trillion euro is expected to pass from one generation to the next within the next 5 years. It's the largest transfer of wealth in modern European history. And globally, the figure is expected to reach $18 trillion by 2030, but most of that wealth will be lost. Roughly 70% of wealthy families lose their wealth by the second generation, 90% by the third. Why? Because wealth doesn't pass down through will. It passes down through habits, through conversations, and through tools. And most families don't have any of those three. In Ireland alone, the central bank estimates that 97 billion euro of inherited wealth already sits with households across the country. And yet, we have over 170 billion euro sitting in Irish deposit accounts, earning almost nothing. Irish households hold just 2.2% of their financial assets in direct investments. That's one of the lowest rates in Europe. Our children are inheriting a savings culture, not an investment culture. Now, think about how Irish families actually try to build financial futures today. We arrive at communions, confirmations, birthdays, and Christmas with cash in envelopes or yet another toy for a child who already has too many. Well-intentioned, generous, and financially almost completely wasted. Every Irish family I talk to wants the same thing, something better. They just don't have the tool. The timing for what we've been building has never been better, and I want to explain why. 3 things are happening at once. First, AI has finally become good enough to do what a personal financial advisor used to do, but at scale for every family in their pocket, 24 hours a day. The economics of personalized financial advice have just been rewritten, and that has never been true before. Second, the policy tailwinds in Ireland and Europe are extraordinary. Taoiseach and Minister for Finance Simon Harris has stated his intention to legislate in 2026 for a new savings and investment account, known as the SIA, with accounts potentially available from 2027, subject to government approval and final design. At the same time, Ireland holds the EU presidency in the second half of 2026, and the Savings and Investment Union is one of the flagship files. The entire continent is trying to unlock household savings and put them to work. Third, the cultural moment is here. Irish families know cash in an envelope is not a financial plan. They're looking for something better. Policy direction, technology, and culture are all lining up. Families are about to get access to something they've never had. The question is, who's going to deliver it to them? That's where NestiFi comes in. NestiFi is an AI-powered platform for family wealth. At the center of it is Seb, our AI advisor. Think of Seb as the financial guide that every family deserves, but almost none can afford. And here's how a family actually uses it. A parent opens an account for their child. The whole family, grandparents, godparents, aunts, uncles, get invited into what we call a family circle. When it's a birthday or a communion or a Christmas, instead of cash in a card, relatives contribute directly to the child's future. One tap, done. As the child grows, Seb teaches them gamified lessons, real money concepts. They unlock parts of their own savings by completing financial literacy milestones. And by the time that they're a teenager, they understand money in a way most adults never will. This is a 25-year relationship with the family. From the day a child is born to the day that they inherit, no competitor in Ireland has built this, and very few anywhere are even trying. But here's the crucial part. We don't sell this directly to families. We sell it to financial institutions, and they deploy it under their brand. NestiFi is a B2B2C, otherwise known as business to business to consumer platform. That means that our customers are banks, credit unions, and wealth managers. They white label our app, they put their logo on it, and they offer it to their members. Why does that matter? Well, it matters because financial institutions are under enormous pressure. The average age of a credit union member in Ireland is rising every year. The next generation is on Revolut, not at the counter. The traditional state savings products stop engaging families as soon as the children become teenagers, and those families walk out the door with nowhere to go. We give these institutions the tool to retain families across generations. We're their revenue multiplier, not their competitor. When an institution deploys NestiFi, they don't just retain the parent's account. They capture 3 or 4 more family members at zero acquisition cost. The grandparents, the godparents, the children themselves. And they hold that relationship for decades. And the pipeline we have reflects that. We're in active conversations with pillar banks, with credit unions, life and pension providers, and wealth managers. The demand is there, the gap is real, and we're building the platform that fills that in. But we're not doing it alone. This is a team that has built, scaled, and exited multiple fintechs before. We've shipped at scale at Bloomberg, Stripe, Google, Microsoft, IBM, Deloitte, BNP Paribas, and Xero. We have Enterprise Ireland backing, as well as a US institutional investor from the fintech space. We have a deeply experienced team. We have a policy tailwind that most startups only ever dream of. And we've got a clear go-to-market. Get this into the hands of Irish and European financial institutions, and through them, into the hands of families.
I'm Dominic Sherlock, COO of NestiFi. My background ranges from modernisation of blue-chip institutions to growing Indigenous Irish startup success stories. I spent years at IBM in operations transformation, streamlining new channel development. I also worked at Microsoft with responsibility for Microsoft Business Solutions EMEA operations. And I was a consultant at Deloitte, working in operations in educational technology. I was fortunate to be amongst the very first team members at Let's Get Checked, an Irish unicorn in health tech. I'm excited to see the same potential here at NestiFi today. A common thread throughout my career has been the importance of security, compliance, and governance. That is the lens I bring to NestiFi every day. We are building a product founded on decades of industry best practices and the latest technology capabilities. We're excited to bring it to market and to offer you the opportunity to be on board for the takeoff of this journey.
I'm Donal Hannafin, and I lead product at NestiFi. I spent my career building financial software for institutions. I was at BNP Paribas, then Director of Customer Experience at Finergo, where we shipped client lifecycle management to the world's largest banks. I was Product Director at Cash Analytics, now owned by Ripple. I know what institutional grade looks like. I know what families actually need. Most fintech products are designed for one user, a saver, a trader, an advisor. NestiFi is different. We are designing for a family across 3 generations, each with different needs, different devices, and different levels of financial literacy. That's the hardest product problem in consumer finance, and it's the one we are solving.
We're raising on the Spark venture funding platform because I believe this is an Irish story built by an Irish team, solving a problem that Irish families feel every day. For Irish investors, the round is structured with EIS eligibility of 50% in mind, which means meaningful income tax relief on your investment subject to your personal circumstances and revenue approval. The funds we raise will be used to accelerate our institutional pilots, deepen our AI, and prepare for the potential SIA launch in 2027. We want to be the default platform that every Irish family opens the day their child is born. In 1987, a woman walked into a credit union and changed her son's life without even realizing it. If my mother had today's tools back then, our family's financial trajectory would be very different. Every family deserves what she gave me, the head start, just with better tools. Help us put this in the hands of every family. Further information on this exclusive investment opportunity may be found on the Spark Venture Funding website.